Hey,
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, perfect. All right.
Okay.
Hi, Evan. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm good. So, thank you so much. This is awesome. I'm really looking forward to sharing your expertise with the world here on all that's going on. I know right now there's a lot of fear, anxiety, and a lot of uncertainty. And people right now are feeling like it's 2008 all over again. That's what I'm hearing from a lot of people. And I wanted to tell everybody, my friends, this is not 2008. This right here, what we are going through right now, is a pivot. We're going through a little bit of an adjustment, and a lot of things that can eliminate the anxiety, fear, and the uncertainty is to have a little more knowledge about what's going on in the marketplace. And so I'm here with Evan from Family Mortgage. And Evan, can you just explain to us a little bit about the how the market is, how it was in 2008, and just kind of ease everybody's minds here?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are right now in an unprecedented time. And fortunately, to answer this question, I was around in 2008, actually grew up in the business. So I started my career in 2001, and I saw from 2001 to 2006, 7, things just climb exponentially, values going up 30% month to month here in Palm Beach County. So we had, in 2008, we had a run up of prices. We had a bunch of bad mortgages that the mortgage world created and were sold multiple times over, and just created this house of cards that completely imploded by 2008. So back then we had a housing problem. We had a mortgage problem. We had a housing run up in prices. And that led to this economic depression that we had back then. So now flash forward to what we're going through at the moment, leading into the beginning of the year. Interest rates were fantastic in January. Prices were a little on the higher side, but had been on the higher side for a couple of years. People had been talking about them being high, and they were high but sustained that level, and was a great time to buy, especially with rates. We had a very strong economy. Unemployment was super low, and then all of a sudden we have this virus news that started back in January. I think we started hearing about it in China. I was actually out of town at the end of February when it really hit home here, and rates just plunged and went super low. But before I get into the rate talk, so you have a really strong economy and housing market and inventory. You can maybe mention a little bit about inventory being kind of low in our area. The good stuff would go quick. If it was priced right, there were buyers to buy those properties. Where compared to '08, everything around housing was terrible. And at the root, the real crux of the problem back in '08 was those bad mortgages, which we just don't have a mortgage market built on that right now. So we're going by whether it's right or wrong with what's going on with the virus, pure emotion and the terrible things that are happening. But the emotions are what started running this thing back at the end of February and into March. So I don't think, and the smarter people than me, because I'm just a guy here in Jupiter talking about mortgages and houses, like the guys that are way smarter than me, feel the same about the fundamentals were there, and we are going to go through some tough times here in the coming months. But when this all turns around, most of them say that we're going to have a rebound in the stock market. That there's going to be people that want to work, like restaurants. We had to let everyone go in restaurants, a lot of people, but their jobs are still there.
Right.
You know, as long as they're a good restaurant, the employers can bring those people back in. There's a workforce there for them that they can rehire. So there's a lot of great things that'll happen when we start to come out of this, and we expect a pretty rapid rebound, right? So that's kind of my 2 cents in the comparison. We're really comparing apples and oranges to what's going on. We're in a way better spot right now.
Absolutely.
So you want me to talk about a little bit what we're seeing? Is we still have
Can you
people
let
calling
everybody
in
know?
for.
Yeah, because that is definitely one of the questions that I keep getting. How are the rates? what's going on. It's this one day, it's that another day. And that's where all this confusion comes into. And then they really just, they're listening to one person, hearing it from another. So I'd like for them to hear it from you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've learned a lot about my industry the past month and how mortgages really work in our whole country, how everything happens. But we had in the end of February and the beginning of March, rates hit the all-time lows. So we bottomed out, and I'm just talking in general, these rates here, but around 3% was the bottom that we hit the first week of March. And then by the end of the first week of March and into the next week, the whole mortgage market, the whole country woke up. All the big lenders, little guys like me and big guys like, the big ones you hear, woke up and said, how are we going to handle all of these mortgages that just came to us for refinancing, a lot of them, and then purchase people made out by locking in super low rates? It was great. So they pushed rates up artificially, saying, we aren't ready for a 2.5% 30-year fix. We can't handle the capacity for that. There's about $15 trillion in mortgages in the whole country. There's about 2 million capacity for the whole country to do every year. And there was a $4 trillion demand overnight, basically, for mortgages. So what do? You got to stop that demand. And so mortgage rates came up because the mortgage investors kept the rates up. And then the coronavirus really took off. Like, I remember the NBA, flights from Europe, and one other thing came down the pike all in one night. And then the next day, it really set in what was happening. And then there's been so much that happened. But the first thing was investors. The second thing was the talk about deferment, that we're going to help the country in deferring these loans. Well, by doing deferment, lenders, regardless of who they are, still have to pay the ultimate owner of the mortgage, meaning you may have heard Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, Ginnie Mae is FHA, government-backed loans. So even if just a ABC big bank, right, has loans deferred, which is great for the homeowner, right, they still have to pay someone every single month different costs. So if there was no help by the stimulus package, those big servicers were going to be paying millions to the tune of billions over the course of a year. And so, again, the scariness in the mortgage market drove rates up again. So we've had a number of things happening in the mortgage world. So I'm telling my clients we've had as low as 3% and as high as 5% in the month of March. That is unprecedented as far as I'm concerned. 2% difference in rates. And it's just a matter of when you catch it and when you need to lock in your rate of where you're at. And so my outlook for people looking to buy, right, is you're in if you need to buy and you want to buy, you could be in a really great spot by getting the pre-approval. We're still doing pre-approvals, being patient on locking your interest rate in. Just because today we have 4% doesn't mean you got to lock at 4%. On Monday, we might be at 3.5%, or we could be at 4.5%. But the overall feel is for mortgage rates to be low because the country, the smarter people than I want rates to be good so we can have home ownership going on in the middle of all this.
Right.
And then also taking advantage of possible opportunities with people really wanting to sell in this market and people wanting to buy. It really could be a good opportunity for our pre-approved clients.
This is amazing information. And I think I know is that just having this little bit of information will definitely ease people's minds. And I think this is super valuable for everybody to know. And I want everybody out there to know that we're here for you and we're here to help educate you. So if you have questions, don't try to guess, don't try to read one news and the other news. Come to us. We're the ones that are seeing this firsthand, and we're able to help you guys navigate through that. And that's what we're here for. Because what I do know is this is going to pass, and we want to be here for you and help you when this all goes past and now, to answer these questions and to answer these difficult questions that you may have. And also what I know is people are still buying, they are still listing their properties, they are still selling their properties, And, from my standpoint, from Evan's standpoint, we are still moving. We're still moving forward. We're not slowing down. And we just want you guys all to know that we're here for you. Thank you so much.
Any questions that we need to get answered, just reply, let Amy know. I'll get them answered. Anything you need to help.
Absolutely. And listen, if this is super valuable to you all, we're going to try doing these interviews more often. Did we say we were going to try and pull one out at the end of this week, possibly, and hopefully go live on that one? And so if you guys are interested in that, we would love to hear some questions that you guys may have and to be able to answer those in our live feeds. Thanks, guys, so much. Hang in there. We're all in this together. We're here for you, and we're thinking of each and every one of you.